This podcast is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. For more great podcasts, head over to bigheadsmedia.com. Hi there, folks, and welcome to TV Tuners. It's a television podcast, sometimes, for the true fanatics. It's a weekly dive in the latest in TV news and reviews. I'm your host, Swanson. With me, as always, is my co-host and cameo appearance from a franchise that we own as a company, Stairmaster.
What's the deal with all these crossovers, Morty? Don't they have any original ideas?
I don't know, Rick. We better get out of here before someone's head explodes. Oh, there it goes.
Wow, surprisingly blasé reaction to seeing Rick's head explode.
Yeah, normal stuff. Well, you know, they weren't written well or anything.
Oh.
They're there for a little punch up. Justin Roiland did some punch up for that gag. And with us, as always, of course, our other co-host and the all-seeing eye of the computer, the guy who controls the internet, Keo Rain.
And Adam Sandler's friend in Reign Over Me.
Yeah, I'm gonna give my villain motivation as like an exposition monologue at the beginning of the movie, and then I'm just gonna be kind of like a bad guy for the movie.
Also, your villain explanation, I guess, is that you really like LeBron James.
He's lonely.
No, I think LeBron James is a king. He wrote the Bible or something, and
I mean,
and what else?
Yeah,
I need to be respected because no one respects me.
True.
Apparently.
Yeah,
which is never shown. Which I've never shown to you, but it's the case.
It is the case because you said so, and that is as truthful as it needs to be. Even though you are again the villain and a liar,
and it's been contradicted in the film itself because that lady got an email from the algorithm, and she's like, "Hey, gotta check this out because it's from the algorithm, who I respect."
Who I respect and is now my boss.
Yeah,
maybe he has unrealistic expectations.
Yeah, perhaps.
Yeah, I wish they could have expanded on that, but I guess the villain's not important. We need to cram in as many characters as possible into this movie.
How many IPs can we put in this?
Listen, they only had 2 hours to work with.
It's true. Longer than Star Wars. Longer than Space Jam. Anyway, what we already started talking about, of course, is our bonus episode this week. We're discussing Space Jam: A New Legacy.
What is that legacy?
This is what is it? New Legacy.
And doesn't that
what's the old legacy?
Doesn't that apply to that Space Jam? The original had a legacy.
That would be discussed at some point.
This movie interacts with the original, besides one mention of it.
It's almost like they wanted the guy from the original Space Jam to be in this movie, and he said no.
Why is this movie called Space Jam?
Why would they bring Michael Jordan back?
For a fun little Michael Jordan appearance. Oh, Michael Jordan and LeBron James are on the screen together. It's like Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, but Michael Jordan hasn't played baseball in over 20 years.
Baseball.
It's true. He also hasn't played basketball in over 20 years. But when you're one of the greatest, you're always one of the greats.
Guys, I really want to know. I have a question for you that you're just kind of glossing over. Why is this movie called Space Jam?
It's true. Cyberspace, buddy.
That's why?
That's
not
right.
A form of space.
No, it's true.
Fuck you.
They didn't use the term cyberspace at all, did they?
No, they called it serververse.
Why didn't they just say HBO Max?
Because that would put their product in a negative light.
They weren't sure if that service would be around, and by the looks of it, it might not.
Oh, no.
The serververse is a bad thing too. It's like a bad place apparently.
Yeah, it gets destroyed at the end, doesn't it?
Does it?
I don't know. I was
I don't know what
kind
happens at the end
of
of this
zoned
fucking
out
movie.
at that point.
Whoa! Don't say that. We watched the movie, we analyzed it in detail, and we understand every little bit of it. Stair, we're professionals.
Yeah.
So you did see the end of it, and the serververse was destroyed at the end of the movie.
I did not watch the credits. That's for sure. Did they even play?
We took copious notes on this movie.
Yeah, we saw the end of the movie. All of us. We each watched the last 5 minutes of the film. We all saw the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, we saw the after credits stinger.
Do they play the
where Doctor Strange comes in?
Do they play the Space Jam theme in the credits? Because they don't do that in the movie. No,
they don't play it ever.
What?
The Space Jam theme is not mentioned. There was no epic remix of the Space Jam theme.
No, instead we got like a DJ Khaled song at the end of this.
Meanwhile, Top Gun Maverick just does the same musical opening that the original did, and it's awesome.
So did they not... Is there some kind of copyright issue with the original Space Jam song? Is that why?
They couldn't get Michael Jordan. They couldn't get the original Space Jam song. Why even call it Space Jam?
No wonder Warner Brothers is going financially tits up. They can't even afford Space Jam. And they couldn't...
Anyway...
There's no I Can't Believe I Can Fly, either.
Well, there's probably a good reason for that.
Oh, yeah, maybe. I don't know. Still a banger.
Wait, why is that song bad?
R. Kelly is the guy who made it.
Oh.
I think we should separate the art from the artist.
True, and still make sure he gets paid.
Well, no, don't pay him. Just separate the art from the artist.
Oh, yeah. That's not troubling in any way.
Come on, what's he gonna do? Sue? Come on.
It's true, yeah. Of course, this is a Buy Me a Coffee episode, a bonus episode.
Somebody purchased a coffee for us.
By our dear friend Puff Pfeiffer, who we hate for making us watch this.
Well, we love him because he gave us money.
It's a brutal balance. There's a tornado inside of me of
a tornado
feelings.
All right, guys, I need you guys to sit down.
We only have one chair,
okay.
All
right, well, I'm going to sit down. I have something to tell you guys.
Why are you sitting down backwards in the chair?
Well, yeah, I'm trying to tell you about something. First of all, if anyone goes on Buy Me a Coffee /TV Tuners and they buy us a coffee, that can make us watch whatever they want.
It's true, like this.
We'll do an episode on it, and it'll be just like this one. Same quality as this one.
That's right. Guaranteed.
All right, and now let me tell you guys about something that all of us go through at some point in time in our lives. Puberty, yeah.
It's true.
And, some of us have physical desires. Okay.
Is this going to be about Lola Bunny? Because we've heard you talk about that enough, Keo.
Yeah, talk about character assassination.
Well, Swanson, you say you've heard about it enough from me and plenty of other people on the internet, but I would argue that...
This has not been in the zeitgeist for like 2 years now, and we're bringing it back.
A year. That's not been that long.
Oh, God.
Yeah, well, I came to this film, and I was prepared for Lola Bunny, the character.
What were you prepared for?
Right.
Acclaimed character. Well, I was prepared for her to have breasts in this film.
And does she not?
I'll tell you one thing, Swanson. If she does, they're not visible on screen at any point in time.
You want to be able to see them sort of just peeking out.
I want to be able to see like a bust on this character.
On this cartoon rabbit.
I mean...
I
mean, the parents are bored out of their mind. You got to give them something. At least the fathers. To enjoy.
Yeah, give them something to go, ooga.
Yeah, I want the dads watching to just be like, huh? Why is she hot?
Why do I feel the way I feel?
What am I doing with my life?
Yes.
So, yeah, at that point in the film when I discovered that Lola Bunny was ruined, I had to go outside for a while and just think about
Stand
things.
by the
And it
ocean.
had nothing to do with the extended animated sequence in which she is in Wonder Woman's world, which I guess is different from DC world.
No. See, that was Zack Snyder world, as opposed to DC
Oh,
AU
true.
world, which had no cameos by Tim Daly or Kevin Conroy. Or more
Well, why would you?
Why is Zack Snyder World still really cartoony, though? That's what I want to know.
Great question. One that cannot be answered. But listen, we'll get into going through Space Jam proper in a second here, but there are some things we gotta get through first before we talk about this wretched film. Anyway, if you have any quips, comments, a question, foresight, otherwise, you could send them to us at our email address, and we'll read them aloud on the podcast. That's right. All you got to do is send them to tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com. What's that email address, Gilrain?
It's tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com.
That's right.
That's right. You could be like Geo, who sent us this email. Oceans420. Fellas, let's say, hypothetically, that TVT was planning some kind of heist. Like, maybe on behalf of the U.S. government, because the judge who tried you for your crimes against podcasting said you could either serve 20 solid or help out with this Black Ops heist job, like when Jimi Hendrix joined the army. Now let's say, as part of the heist, Swanson and Keelrain run into a bong full of dank-ass push that has to be smoked. Stairmaster can't help you, because he's off seducing the pretty lady who has the access codes. So which one of you two would honk the bong? You have 69
Swanson,
seconds until the alarm goes off, Gio.
You can have it. Back in grade school,
What?
I made a pledge to stay drug free for my whole life.
Yeah, what's Keo, you have something on your shirt that says DARE? What does that mean?
I don't know what it stands for.
Dicks are really excellent.
Wow. Huh. I thought it had something to do with
Yeah.
drugs, but I guess you're just sort of declaring your love for penis.
Yeah, I'm a proud gay man, and you know, with gay men, what they don't do is drugs.
True.
I'm gonna need some proof.
A famously
on that
reserved subcommunity.
You need proof that I'm gay, Swanson?
No.
Yes.
Well, come over here, Swanson. Come here.
Oh, come on.
All
You
right,
guys
yeah,
do
what's
this
up? What's
every
going on?
week.
Yep. Anyway, yeah, I'll honk on that bong. Was that all we need? We need a volunteer.
That's the entire question.
I'll honk
Yeah,
on that.
I think
that Bobo.
Can you imagine if Keo did
Yeah.
weed?
No, I feel like
You're
I feel like
Ah.
there'd be like more existential questions that he would pose than normal.
You'd be asking stuff like, you ever think about how trees don't get to make any choices?
Or maybe I would just maybe be a little hungry and have a snack, and then go to bed.
Yeah, Keo would go to bed at like a reasonable hour.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hope that answers your question, Gio. The answer is me. I would do it. All right. Well, tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com. That's where you find all of the great podcast questions. That was a quickie. A little quickie from Gio for Gio this week.
Usually he asks like a more challenging question, but that one was pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it was just who's going to smoke this big bong, and it can't be Stare.
He was even trying to make it harder because Stare would have volunteered.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Very-
I can't
very
do
quickly.
weed anymore.
Well, in this ocean scenario, maybe you would be able to.
No.
You're in like Toon World.
Okay. And then afterwards, I like compress Keo into a ball and dribble him around
Yeah.
and shoot him. And
Instantly killing
throw,
me.
and throw him into a vent so I can get the passcodes.
I would be dead after
No,
that.
it's Toon World.
Yeah, it's Toon World, Keo. You're fine. We just got to
Oh, I
put
guess
like
Keo
we
would
just
be
gotta
dead like
inflate
my
you.
Family Guy logic.
It's true, yeah. You would just be murdered.
Yeah.
And then like a chicken will show up and I'll fight him. Like a guy in a chicken suit.
I think he's just a chicken. At this point.
I guess at this point he is just a chicken.
With the chicken family.
Yeah. I couldn't tell you what's going on in Family Guy with part 83 of the chicken saga. I'm sure there's like a supercut on YouTube.
Well, if only we had a friend of the show who was very knowledgeable in Family Guy lore.
Well,
That would be really convenient.
yeah. We'd probably have to invite them on at some point, but
Yeah, and hopefully he will
alas, we
invite
don't.
me back on to his pod. That'd be nice.
yeah, unfortunately, we don't have that person. So, anyway, of course, email is not the only way that we can communicate as fans and podcasters alike. We have a Twitter page at TV Tuners, full of great TV content, where you can go, you can take a look, see what's going on over there, say, and that's probably all you got to do, really. You could also talk to us, I guess, if you want, but mainly what we use that page for, of course, is to scour the Twitterverse looking for the greatest tweet of the given week. And stare, I'm sure we have one.
Oh, I found a funny screenshot of IMDb.com.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So not a tweet, but this is good.
Yeah.
Kyo, do you want to describe what this screenshot is?
On IMDb.
Yeah, it's a movie called Homo T. And the description is a homosexual alien is lost in the 1970s Turkey.
Amazing.
And
Oh, look at the alien.
and it's got like the poster for the movie on there, and there's like a guy and a woman like looking at each other.
Befuddled by the
They don't-
concept of homosexuality.
I mean, they just seem like they're just like not that confused, but just kind of like, huh? And then there's like this ET type creature next to them who looks like he's like I don't know what this
It looks
expression
like
is. It's like
It looks like a video, like a RuneScape sprite
Yes.
grown up.
he just looks like he's just like not doing so good. Like he's like
He looked a little nauseous.
completely out of it. Yeah.
This movie, by the way, from 1987, runtime shorter than Space Jam 2.
It's got a 3.3 out of 10.
Yeah, it's number 67,330 on IMDb's rankings.
Which is trending downward from where it was previously.
Will we have to watch it? Probably not, because I doubt we can find it.
I doubt it exists. You have to spell it correctly for us to watch it, so
I'm not spelling it for you.
yeah.
You have to figure it out.
Anyway, if this counts as a tweet of the week, I guess I tune in.
I also tune in.
I tune in.
Hooray for Homo T. The greatest alien comedy since Mac and Me.
We'll follow that out of the way. There's one last thing I gotta ask us before we move on. What you guys watch this week? Anything fun, interesting? Somebody want to talk about?
No.
I watched the Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared TV show that came out.
Oh, that came out.
That came out.
Interesting.
I had to mention that it did come out, apparently. It was on YouTube.
Huh, okay. How is it?
It's alright. It's kind of funny. It's nothing like the YouTube shorts.
Yeah, I heard that. It wasn't as good.
Is it like, nothing like in what ways do you mean? Like it's completely different?
There's very brief musical sections on the shows. It's more like kind of like a sitcom where they're just the characters walking around and talking about things going around. They still have the character who shows up and teaches them about something, but it's like, much more slow paced because it's a 20-minute.
Oh no!
Program.
20 minutes.
That's long.
It doesn't feel long though. I don't know. I liked it, but it was not the phenomenon that the YouTube videos were.
I feel like
guess.
you can't capture the magic if you're doing a 20-minute episode. Like that's just something else entirely.
It is something else entirely,
Yeah.
really.
I looked it up on Wikipedia about the new show, and apparently it was supposed to come out on September 12th, but was delayed because of the Queen's death.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
nobody wanted to
Something
watch
think about
TV.
there.
for an
I can't
entire-
believe the
Well,
Queen
yeah.
didn't get to see "Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared" the TV show.
I mean, I had to take off work for the Queen's death. It was just, it hit me hard knowing about.
Keo's feeling really down about baby Diego.
Yeah, we're all very sad about whatever that is.
Oh, you never.
Siesta, what is that?
I was referencing Children
is-
of Man, or
Oh,
with Clark.
yes, I know what you mean now.
movie.
I don't think
don't know.
Keo knows what you mean, but
That's the youngest
It's a good
man,
movie.
the youngest guy on Earth who dies right at the start of the film.
feel free to make us watch that movie.
Yeah, I'd love to watch that.
But anyway, so that's a tune in on it, Keo, or
It's a light tune in. I mean, if you go in there,
Oh,
not expecting just more of the YouTube thing, it's fun.
the runtime of Children of Men is 109 minutes. Which
shorter than
is short.
Space Jam 2. Amazing. They literally build a whole world and society in that movie, and this can't even build
Two
a
worlds.
successful world where Looney Tunes live. Anyway, Stare, anything you want to talk about that you watched?
No, not really.
Okay. Let's see. I'll give a shout out to What We Do in the Shadows. Just wrapped up its 4th season. It's still good.
Well, I can't believe it has 4 seasons. I feel like, I don't know, too much time has gone by.
Yeah, we watched that show. We had an episode on that show when it first debuted, and it's still going strong. Still hilarious. One of the best comedies out there.
Nice.
Not much more I can really say about it. It's good.
Yeah, I'll think about watching it in a couple years
Yeah.
when I'm down bad.
Yeah. I don't know how are you gonna get down bad worse than watching Space Jam: A New Legacy?
Well, I'm getting paid some amount of money for this, so.
Fair.
So this movie opens with a very long
Oh,
period
we're
of time
talking
where
about the movie now?
we see no Looney Tunes. They're
Yeah, I was keeping track. It takes like 20 minutes for the Looney Tunes to show up.
Yeah. It's ridiculous, actually. It's
Unacceptable.
unfathomable. I think in the original Space Jam, the Looney Tunes show up within 10 minutes.
what happened in the original Space Jam? Let's get that out of the way because do you guys know what happens in that movie?
Yes,
Because I don't.
I remember what happened in that movie.
Yeah, or Michael Jordan goes to space.
No.
help
The
the Looney
space.
Tunes.
No, the aliens come from space to attack Earth, right?
Oh, yeah. And
They're
Bill
trying to
Murray's
take over
involved.
Looney Tunes world. In order to
Yeah.
get it, they take all the NBA players' talents except for Michael Jordan, who's retired at that point in time.
And
So the Looney Tunes have
Wayne
to
Knight is
kidnap-
there.
Yeah, Wayne Knight is like the comedy relief guy.
Also, the movie opens with Michael Jordan and his dad playing basketball or
And
something.
that's kind of a heartfelt moment.
Yeah, the only scene I know from the original Space Jam is the one with Lola Bunny. Just the one.
Just, the one. You guys know the one.
She's only in one scene, right?
I
No.
think she was heavily involved.
She was in a lot of scenes, now that I think about it. That movie was kind of
Yeah.
a thing.
She saved the movie.
Yeah, she does.
Probably.
She does. I think at some point kiss Bugs Bunny in the movie.
Yeah, that was hot.
Which she does not do in this film. I do not believe.
No, she's not sexualized at all, which is a real problem for me.
Yeah, problematic. So, I guess we'll go ahead and talk about this since we have nothing else to discuss, right? We got a lot to discuss in regards to this movie.
We have too much to discuss, and as you can tell, I'm ready to start talking about this movie.
This
Yeah.
opening
So-
scene is bizarre.
Mainly because it just smash cuts into the scene. We just immediately, it's like, here's LeBron's life.
We don't even get like an establishing shot or anything.
No, it cuts immediately to LeBron James' mother's face, and she's like, "You're gonna play basketball, son."
It's like, okay,
Yeah, he's
that's
like, "Okay."
fine.
Yeah, and his friend
That's
shows
gonna
up
be
with a Game Boy.
It's gonna be my life now. Uh-oh.
They at the moment this Game Boy is revealed, sinister music might as well have started playing. It was like doom doom doom, like a storm cloud.
But also, it's how Bugs Bunny shows up. It's how we learn that he has a love of Looney Tunes, apparently.
Because for some reason his friend was playing the Looney Tunes game that nobody wanted to play on the Game Boy. And
yeah, he's entranced by this game. I guess because he likes Bugs Bunny, or what? I don't know. They didn't really establish that he's a big fan of Looney Tunes at all. He just he's like, oh, video game. Oh, I'm gonna play this.
Yeah. He plays the game and misses the coach calling him on to the field. Or I guess they're not even playing yet. They're practicing, and then they start playing at some point.
No, he loses the game.
They're about to play the game.
Yeah,
and he's
the
distracted.
real game, the game of life, which is basketball.
Basketball, as they pronounce it properly, Swanson.
Yes. Yeah, LeBron is still firmly in his hoop dreams phase. And he misses a potential buzzer beater, and the coach is like, LeBron, what are you doing, man? You're the best person I've ever seen. You're the best. You have the potential to be the greatest basketball player of all time. Just get rid of the Game Boy.
Can't be playing video games. And this reminds me of a childhood experience I had that I'm going to expand on in great detail. I think I've told you guys about this off the pod, so you have to pretend like I never said this before to you.
Okay. Easy.
I knew this kid in elementary school who was really tall.
Yeah.
And his parents wanted him to play basketball.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And I sort of made friends with him. I don't know how or what happened with this, but I was at his house at some point. Went over to his house, and I found out he did not get to watch TV unless it was, guess what he has to watch on TV?
VeggieTales?
He can watch. No.
Basketball and WCW because it was on the same channel.
Just basketball on the TV. And he had a Sega Genesis. You know what game? You know what game he had on?
NBA Jam?
NBA Jam? That's it. That's all he got to do.
So he was slamming and jamming.
Hoop nightmares.
I don't think he really liked playing it that much. He didn't seem very enthusiastic about the fact that he had an NBA Jam to play. But that was it. I was just like, oh my God, this poor...
What's the name of those two brothers who killed their parents?
The Menendez brothers?
Yeah, he should have done that.
he was like the sweetest child I've ever encountered.
Did he make it?
Had these... As a basketball player?
Yeah, his name was Kobe Bryant.
Oh, uh-oh. I mean, good. He made it, but...
But not... he made some choices, so we're not...
Yeah. Also, Keo's 50 years old. I forgot to mention. This moment occurred actually way before... I guess... I don't know how old Kobe Bryant was.
Yeah, I don't think he ever went pro, but he probably played basketball in college and got a scholarship or something, which is why his parents were doing that. That's my guess.
And that's why they could only... That's why they had to keep him isolated from pop culture.
Yeah. Otherwise, that's what LeBron had to do. Which is what this posits. That's what this movie posits.
It literally does. Like, his coach is like, you need to be focused completely on basketball.
And then
he throws the Game Boy in the trash.
Yeah,
that's
and then we get the entire
Boy.
career of LeBron James through these credits, where it's like, this is how he became great by not playing video games. No Space Jam. We get anime LeBron in some of these opening credits, which better movie. If it was just like, I guess LeBron is animated at some point, but I mean like actual like. What I'm saying is, I want LeBron's Bizarre Adventures.
Would be a better movie, but we didn't get that, Swanson, so there's no point in dreaming during this podcast.
What would LeBron's stand name be, Star?
I don't know.
Slam Jam's too easy, you know.
Tribe Called Quest.
It would be too easy, but they didn't even get to have that song, as we said.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
Not too easy.
And the opening credits play, and we get like the career of LeBron James. And then we go from anime dad LeBron to shitty dad LeBron. his kids are out here on his lavish compound because the show doesn't really, the movie doesn't really talk about this that much, but LeBron is a billionaire.
Wait, what?
Well, I mean, he's like a multi-millionaire at this point because he's not a
okay.
billionaire, but he's very rich.
Because he played the sports ball really good.
Yeah, this is
better than you can, Swanson.
Yes, much better than me.
And much better than me.
Also, I was right the first time. LeBron James is a billionaire.
Wow, good on him, I guess. Not really.
He's worth exactly $1 billion.
Do you think you'd rather have $1 billion or that ring that people keep making fun of him for not having?
Well, he has 4 of them, I think.
Oh, well, he didn't get one recently or something. I don't know. I don't follow.
I think he's got all the rings he could ever want, Stairmaster.
Yeah, I think when you're that rich, you can just make a ring.
Apparently there's a ring that he doesn't have.
Well, he can just make it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, his salary is $44.47 million.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he wants his lads to also be basketball players, I guess.
Yeah, he wants his 2 lads to be basketball players. Not his daughter, of course, who shows up and never speaks.
I don't know the...
Are we supposed to sympathize with this character, or are we supposed to, like...
With LeBron? That's a great question, because he shows up in this and he's like, why aren't you playing basketball? Hey, I thought we were playing basketball here. Is your last name
the
James?
Movie alternates between jerking him off and saying he's a bad dad, so I'm not really sure what to think of this character in this movie.
Yeah. It's interesting. Also, I guess this is the point where we should start talking about LeBron James himself. This is, of course...
LeBron James.
I think this is his first movie role, and it's pretty obvious.
Last as well.
Well, one could hope. Yeah, what do we think about LeBron in terms of acting ability in here?
He's not an actor.
Correct, yeah. True. He, I will say this much. I think he's probably on par with Michael Jordan in Space Jam from what I can remember. I do not remember Michael Jordan.
Jordan at least knew how to scream in horror when cartoon antics were happening to him.
That's true. LeBron James is not very good at the screaming and horror bit, is he?
No.
He just seems kind of like, oh, okay, what's going on here?
There's the movie. Listen, spoilers, I guess, for this movie we're about to discuss in depth. The movie literally climaxes with him and his son battling one another, and he can't even emote that he is feeling some sort of emotion at having to play basketball against his son.
That's kind of fucked up that this kid's movie is about a father basketballing his son to the death.
Yeah, true. But yeah, also spoilers, someone does technically die at the end of this movie. The answer of who may surprise you.
It's not Space Ghost.
It's true. Is Space Ghost in there? It'd be funny if he was.
They have him like floating around.
Oh, so there is a pseudo Cartoon Network.
No, that's Hanna-Barbera.
I guess it's true. Damn. No Cartoon Network references at all in this.
Now, they should have had a scene where they tried to recruit Johnny Bravo, but it turned out he's terrible at dunking.
Yeah. That'd be great.
Because he's white.
Or he could maybe dunk, but he's too busy looking at the ladies.
He refuses to come on the team because of Lola Bunny.
Like he tries to head on Wonder Woman and just gets punted into the atmosphere.
Yeah. Yeah, great. Good stuff. But yeah, LeBron is like, listen, you're both going to be basketball players because that's what I am and that's what you guys are, so let's do this. And his youngest son is like, yeah, but I'm like making video games. And he's like, huh?
He's like, yeah, I'm making AAA video games in my room here.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's running Naughty Dog over there from his bedroom.
And LeBron's just like, shut up. Get back to sports.
We're playing sports ball. And his wife has this talk with him in their bedroom where I've seen this bedroom setup before, and it always confuses me. Which is where the bed is in like the middle of the room, and then there's like chairs and like living area spaces behind the bed.
What?
Where
Is
like
it like a rich person thing or something?
it has to be, right? Like it just doesn't make any sense to me how it's laid out. And I've seen it before in other places, usually involving rich people. They truly do live in another plane of existence.
And when I go into the bed, I don't want anything behind me at all. No walls, nothing. I want like nothing.
The only thing I want behind me is the void, the sweet void.
Yeah, the sweet silent void.
Nothing but the silent hum of nothingness.
Yeah.
Anyway, we get introduced to the server verse, which is
Oh boy.
which is where we get introduced to Don Cheadle as Algae Rhythm. Don Cheadle,
Not a cartoon character, it's just Don Cheadle.
It's just Don Cheadle. I mean, later he turns into like a big
Big Cheadle.
version of. he becomes Don Cheadle. He goes from Don Cheadle to Big Cheadle. And but right now it is just Don Cheadle, and he's got like a assistant who's sort of like if Clippy was worse.
Is it Don Cheadle or Terrence Howard who has the famously small penis?
I think isn't it Terrence Howard?
No, I think Terrence Howard is the one with the fake math. Terrenceology? I don't know about his dick.
What? What's going
You
on?
don't know about Terrenceology, Keo?
I don't know who Name Anomaly is.
Terrence Howard was the guy playing War Machine in the first
Iron Man.
Wait, his name isn't Terrence Howard, is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
They recasted him?
Yeah, he got replaced by Don Cheadle in the second one, I think.
Yes, that's right. Because he was, I guess, him and Robert Downey Jr. didn't get along.
Yeah, he has his own system of mathematics called teriology. The logic language he claimed would be used to prove the statement 1 times 1 equals 2. How can it equal 1, he said. If 1 times 1 equals 1, then that means 2 is of no value because 1 times itself has no effect. 1 times 1 equals 2 because the square root of 4 is 2. So what's the square root of 2? Should be 1, but we're told it's 2, and that cannot be.
We do what? Sarah, could you repeat that last sentence for me? I want to make sure I got that right.
1 times 1 up equals 2 because the square root of 4 is 2. So what's the square root of 2? Should be 1, but we're told it's 2, and that cannot be.
No, we're not.
Listen, he thought this out, Keo.
Okay.
In 2017, right. Terrence Howard posted his proof that 1 times 1 equals 2 on Twitter. It was heavily criticized as containing multiple logical errors and faulty reasoning.
So that's why he couldn't get along with Iron Man.
Yes.
Because
they were trying to do the movie, and he would just keep talking about how 1 times 1 is 2. And Robert Downey Jr. was like, I don't even fucking care. We're trying to shoot a movie.
I'm gonna start doing drugs again if you don't shut up, Terry.
I've got my speed dial on my coke guy right now.
I'm just picturing like a deleted scene where War Machine's trying to explain to Iron Man like how numbers work.
What's the square root of 2, Tony? Answer
1.2. Rounded up. No. Listen, remember the basic laws of common sense. If A times B equals C, then C must be some product of A and B. Yet in order for 1 times 1 to equal 1, the value of either A or B has to be missing from the final product of C.
Oh.
Damn.
Got him.
With those sort of facts and logics, how do I even contend?
If 1 times 1 equals 1, 3 equals 2, 1 equals 0, A times B equals A. then all these
Oh
unrealities must be inequalities.
I really want to see him.
Like,
I really want him to. I want him to star in a movie as the villain, and that's his ideology. Is that numbers are wrong?
Space Jam 2. That's
Yeah.
why his name is Algorithm. He's got a new system of math. He's trying to force on everyone.
I will say this much
I
for
wish
Don
it was
Cheadle
that
here.
interesting.
He does try as much as he possibly can to do something with the material he's given here.
They didn't give him anything.
He gave him literally nothing to work with. But he's he's trying to just work. He's trying to get blood from that stone.
I don't understand what happened here with this film. They really were phoning it in with this villain. They didn't care at all. Like,
I mean, his
they
name's
introduced a villain
Algae Rhythm, Kyo.
He's introduced by literally just giving exposition to, I guess, his assistant, who should already know all this information. So it's the definition of bad dialogue.
His assistant, whose name is Pete, for some reason.
Yeah, Pete.
Oh,
Why not?
yeah, why not like Mac?
That seems like a placeholder name. They're like, well, what should we call this guy? Pete. We'll think of something funny later.
Or Bonsai Buddy. Maybe you could make it.
Yeah, something.
No.
Instead, we got Pete. Which, how would you describe what Pete looks like, Kyo?
He's like a computer with a face on it, and like a wire with a little claw on it, a little grabby claw.
It's like someone unfurled Clippy.
Yeah, I don't like him.
No, bad.
So this movie starts out with this really, really deeply uncompelling villain, like not like a funny uncompelling, but just a bad.
Yeah.
Just a bad villain.
And
not good.
He wants to team up with LeBron James because LeBron James is the king.
And Kobe
He's the
Bryant
best.
is dead.
He's got all these attributes that are desirable, and he's King James. He wrote the Bible.
Yeah. And, I mean, yeah, there's nothing that can dispute that on the internet, of which this guy rolls and exists. The roles of this guy on Algae Rhythm seem to be incongruent, because at one point it seems like he only controls Warner Brothers, but then at another point he says that he can listen in on any camera anywhere.
He's a god in this world. He's literally like a deity level computer being.
Yeah. Who is also
of course
pitching ideas to Warner Brothers, I guess. He's like the ideas man.
Yeah, if he's so powerful, why doesn't he go over to Disney?
Yeah, true.
There's a lot of things that you could ask about this character, which the movie doesn't even want you to think about or even try to approach, because if you try to think about any of it, it clearly makes no sense. This character needs no explanation, because you're not meant to think about it. You're not meant to care.
When he dies, does that mean that Warner Brothers is just shit out of luck and people won't be able to search things on their website or whatever anymore?
Well, he's an algorithm. He doesn't die.
We don't really get an explanation on any of this. What he is, how he was created, why, because something went wrong with him, right? Clearly.
Well, I don't think they planned on him having sentience of some sort.
But this is not, like, we don't know where he came from. He's just an algorithm.
Yeah, they wanted him to be sapient. They did not want him to be sentient.
And on top of that, the other thing that's really just a missed opportunity, this movie obviously has no message, but they make a character about...
You don't think they had a message that was like, come check out the beautiful properties we have here at WB?
No.
That you can see on HBO Max. Subscribe now.
That's not a message, that's an advertisement, but which is distinct from a message, by the way. I have lawyers who can back that up.
The best, some say. He has criminal lawyers who can back that up.
A lot of people are saying this. Well, what was I? Oh yeah, there's no message in this movie, despite having a villain who is literally the algorithm, which is something you could talk about in a movie, I guess, about how these algorithms are probably bad for us in a lot of different ways, but no, that's not what the movie's talking about. It's just a vague villain who's a computer
Realistically,
god
if this really happened, the algorithm would be trying to delete LeBron James and the rest of the black players in the NBA.
Yes, correct. Also, Keo, what you say makes sense, of course, but let me tell you something here, or let me ask you a question, rather. Let me ask you, how many writers do you think are credited with the screenplay?
Oh, no.
1.
Oh, you dear sweet summer child. 6, Keo Rank.
6 writers.
6
They really
writers
worked hard on this.
took a hand at this screenplay. So maybe at some point, if there was one, this might have been a bit more of a coherent film. But the 6 hands in the pot here might have had something to do with why it feels a little less.
I was thinking there'd be one writer, and the writer's name is the writers team or something.
Yeah, many hands wrote this one.
Why is Algae Rhythm a black man?
Because he got Untitled.
Yeah. That's a funny question, because even LeBron James seems surprised by that. LeBron James says the computer is black when he meets him.
And they're just like, yeah. Anyways.
Which is the closest thing to a laugh line that LeBron James does utter in this movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, before we get to LeBron's fateful encounter with Mr. Rhythm, he's trying to bond with his son by playing his son's basketball game that he created. That also is a live stream. Walk me through the process of this, Keo either one.
Okay.
Listen, I watched this movie like only 8 hours ago. It's already fading from my memory.
So he goes on the game, and there's spectator characters in the game who he describes as the live audience on the stream. So that either means that the moment he booted up this game that's in development, that people are tuning in to watch it, and they're being represented on screen by virtual characters, or Swanson. What could also be happening is he just made this up, and the characters in the game are just called spectators, like live stream spectators. There's no people there. But this is not explained. And also, whoever wrote this doesn't know how games work or computers work.
It's baffling that we're in the year of our Lord 2022, and this movie has no concept for how the internet works, how computers work, and how video games work.
Because, so, this kid, he shows the game he's working on to LeBron. By the way, was it like a different game than the one he actually cared about? The one he was showing his dad?
I think this is the game, because we play it. He plays it later, obviously.
Well, I don't know. I didn't go back and rewatch it because I didn't care enough. But when his dad comes into the room, he like is messing with something else, and he like quickly scrambles to like.
Oh, he has up a photo. He has up like the sign up for the E3 game camp that he wants to go to instead of basketball camp.
Oh, that's what he was hiding? Okay.
Yeah,
I got it.
He doesn't want his dad to see that.
But also he was scanning like spiders and snakes. Were those? I guess those were for the basketball game. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I guess so. That's why we get the horrific monstrosities we get later in the movie.
Yeah. Either way, though, so this whole sequence where LeBron plays the game, and he's like, "Oh, you made a basketball game. That's awesome, kid. I have nothing else to say about this. I'm not shocked that you made a AAA quality game here in your bedroom at age 12.
The directors did not tell me how to feel about this."
Yeah.
The directors just assume that I can just do whatever I want, and I will.
Anyway, so I'm going to criticize this game by being upset that it's not a one-to-one basketball simulator like I wanted.
Yeah, I wanted Basketball Simulator 2.0, and you gave me whatever this. You gave me this NBA Jam Superstars.
Yeah, and I didn't want that. Anyways, I'm going to play this game anyway, and then he's so good at the game, I guess, or something, that he glitches it.
He exploits some sort of glitch in the game, and in
2 seconds.
Yeah, go ahead.
You go, Swanson.
He says his son says a line that was one of 2 lines I wrote down that his son says which is, this will take weeks. Presumably to fix the character mess up.
Yeah, so his computer crashes, and while it just has like a bunch of error dialogues and a crashing screen, the kid looks at the screen, which is not giving him any information other than the computer crashed, and says, "My character's deleted. It's going to take weeks to fix this." Like,
that's clear. I mean, that's what happened. Wikio, what do you mean?
How did he?
Yeah, he couldn't afford cloud backup or anything.
Wait, no, how did he know that the character was gone? How did he know?
Because it happened before, obviously.
It happened before, and he... Stare, please.
Yeah?
Please don't say that.
It happened
so
before.
LeBron is like, listen, adversity happens. Let's go to the... Why don't you come with me to this big pitch meeting I've got with Warner Brothers tomorrow? His son's like, sure, we're rich, so I don't technically have school.
I spent most of my life on an airplane.
Yeah. So they go to this meeting with Warner Brothers where Sarah Silverman and Glenn from The Walking Dead are pitching LeBron James. Well, they're not really pitching because... Yeah. They're the Warner Brothers executives. They're not really pitching it so much as they're making LeBron James watch Algie Rhythm's pitch. Which, you gotta hand it to LeBron here. He knows this is a bad idea from the start. We get this is the first of many times where we get a bunch of Warner Brothers IP just showing up on screen.
And also this is IP that we see again later in the film. So it's kind of redundant.
Is Warner Brothers the villain in this movie?
No, they're the greatest thing in the universe, Keo.
Yeah, it's not the problem isn't them, it's the algorithm.
But they made the algorithm, didn't they?
The algorithm just exists, Keo.
Yeah, you can't make it.
You can't. You can't have an internet without an algorithm.
Well, here's the thing.
Is it the internet they're on?
I think
they're on the Warner Brothers serververse.
I don't know what you want me to tell you.
That's not the internet. That's the Warner. Stop, guys, stop. You need to rewrite this movie. I don't understand.
Dude, Keo, 6 people took a crack.
Listen, Keo, when 1 × 1 = 1, it is implied that 50% of the potential will be lost at the initial contact.
So here's what I thought was really funny about this scene with LeBron. He essentially is getting pitched Space Jam: A New Legacy. And his reaction is, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. And he says he's not an actor.
Oh my God.
And says that he needs to focus on his game. There's still an hour and a half of this movie left after he says this.
The movie should have just rolled credits right there.
That should have been the end of it.
Yes. Come on, Islam.
Or he says, like, I can't do this movie, but I know someone who can. And then, like, I don't know, who's another basketball player who's not Kobe Bryant?
It cuts to Bryan Cranston, who's balling.
Yeah. Bryan Cranston should have been in this in, like, a Bill Murray type role.
Or, like...
Just imagine the Breaking Bad theme plays and it shows, like, Heisenberg.
They do not...
shooting out.
Yo, Mr. White, we need the ball. Looks like we're going to Toon World.
Yeah, Gus has like a computer in his office. It's like, Walter, I need you to go into the
Algae Rhythm tries to like recruit Gus.
He would send Mike into the computer.
Mike's too old.
Let me get this straight. You want me to ball against Walter White?
Put the computer away, Walter. We're not going in the serververse tonight. I'm not feeling it.
You are done.
I could just imagine like Mike giving like a explanation on why the serververse is a bad idea from his expert point of view, and he gets ignored.
I'm imagining Mike coming up to LeBron James after he sees some like test footage for Space Jam 2, and he's like, "You're not the guy. You couldn't be the guy." We used to have a guy, and he points to like a poster of Michael Jordan.
He points to a poster of Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
That's the cameo instead.
It's here's a fun fact I looked up on Wikipedia. That Michael B. Jordan. So there's a gag here where they later in the movie they mention that Michael Jordan is coming up, and they found them, and it ends up being Michael B. Jordan, the actor. Apparently, Don Cheadle trolled people on Twitter by saying that Michael Jordan was going to be in the movie, but not in a way you would expect. And that was what he meant.
That's crazy.
So, I mean, I guess kudos to Cheadle for lying to people.
This algae rhythm guy is bad news. I've seen this type of thing before. He's an AI. Those always go out of control, Walter. My advice is to just keep clear of him.
I can control an AI. All it is ones and zeros.
Listen, Mike. Have you ever considered why 1 × 1 = 1?
Yeah, down at Gray Matter, they do know that.
But he says no to this, and Don Cheadle just like completely loses it. He's like, I can't believe I've been rejected. I gotta immediately steal his son.
What was his plan? Just to put LeBron James and other Warner Brothers properties, like Harry Potter.
I guess.
Which is the only one that makes sense because that's a sport.
That seems to be the plan, is just to throw him into other properties because he's in he's Mr. Freeze fighting Batman in one of these for Batman versus LeBron. But yeah,
he kills Batman, by the way.
What is his goal in this this movie? Like, why is he doing all this stuff?
He has a crush. He's like Char in Char's counterattack.
Yeah, he's a fan of he's a stan of LeBron James, and he's going to get him any way he can.
Algorithm, why are you dropping this ball onto Toon World? The temperatures will decrease.
LeBron James could have been like a mother to me.
But what was he hoping to accomplish? Like what did he want?
He I guess his idea is that if LeBron James teams up with Warner Brothers, he'll be like famous. I don't know, man.
It's good when we don't know why the bad guy's doing things.
It's good when he just does stuff.
The bad guy says he's not respected, no one notices him, but he literally is able to just send an email over to the executives and they immediately pitch their thing.
Why can't Don Cheadle just be like an evil businessman who wants to make a lot of money by kidnapping LeBron James and make him play basketball in the computer?
It'd be too easy. Also, if you kidnap someone and make them play basketball, that's more nefarious than what happens here. And also have him played
by Jeff Goldblum if he's going to be an evil computer billionaire.
True.
How's it more nefarious? He kidnaps a child.
Well, he grooms.
Yeah, but this is not a human. This is a robot of sorts. So it's a sort of computer being. So he's allowed to just do shitty things.
A new type of being.
He lures LeBron's son into like the server room where he gets downloaded into the serververse or whatever the fuck. And LeBron follows him, and they both end up in this CGI hellscape. And I mean,
yeah, and we get the last temptation of LeBron.
Yeah, LeBron. This is where LeBron meets Don Cheadle's character. Don Cheadle shows up first, being taller than LeBron before shrinking to normal Don Cheadle height.
Is LeBron even that tall as far as basketball players are concerned?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know how tall he actually is. I think he's pretty tall, I would assume.
He's 6'9". That's very tall.
True.
He's enormous. He's taller than me.
Yeah.
Did you know that LeBron James has hosted Saturday Night Live?
I could believe that. Based on this, I'm gonna guess it wasn't a great episode.
Well, it's Saturday Night Live after like the year 2007, so
true.
It's bad by default.
So yeah, they both get put into this computer space, and we get the second line that I wrote from his son in this movie. I think we're digitized.
How does he? Well,
They should have started playing the Digimon theme.
Would have been a better movie.
Digitized. They should have digivolved, and I mean, in a way, at the end, Bugs Bunny sort of digivolves.
Don Cheadle digivolves.
That's true. Yeah. In a way, yeah. There's a couple digivolution. What do they call those? Digivolutions.
Digivolution.
Yeah, there's a couple of those in the third act of this. So anyway, we're a half hour in, and we finally get some fucking Looney Tunes in this Looney Tunes movie.
Well, we get one Looney Tune.
Yeah, and it's Bugs Bunny, which that's the Looney Tune you'd want.
We get a Bugs Bunny who is not very socially adjusted to his new life situation, apparently.
Oh, he's gone insane in a member.
Yeah. The basics of this, because I think I skipped over some stuff, is that Don Cheadle is like, listen, you're going to play me in a basketball game to get your son back. And LeBron James is like, this seems fair. And
he just agrees to it. He's just like, fine.
Yeah, he's like, okay, sounds good. And Don Cheadle...
He's like, as long as it's basketball, I'm good.
Yeah, you said basketball? Sounds fine by me. So he sends him to Toon World, which is a population of 1. But
why did he do that?
Because he got mad at him.
Yeah. Well, he considers Toon World the worst of the IPs. Which, I mean, maybe he's right, I guess. I don't know. I could have sent him to Austin Powers World. I feel like you're not going to find any basketball players there.
Well, I bet Austin Powers could dunk.
If it's the worst of all time, why did he go there and tell them to go other places?
Listen, Keo,
Maybe he can see the future and knew LeBron James was coming, so he, poisoned the pot.
I mean,
no, because he had an emotional breakdown when he got rejected.
He could see the future, but he could not see being rejected by LeBron.
It's like a limited future sight.
Yeah. Let's say that's what happened.
Let's just rewrite the movie in our heads while we're discussing it.
Speaking of rewriting the movies, why does this team have to be the Looney Tunes? If we're just advertising all Warner,
well, he doesn't want his team to be the Looney Tunes.
No, I'm asking from a Doyleist perspective, not a Watsonian one.
Oh, because it's called Space Jam.
But
it's
a new legacy, so change it up.
Yeah, it's a new legacy of these are the Looney Tunes with a new guy.
You need to have the Looney Tunes characters on the team, or it's not Space Jam.
But there's still a basketball guy with Bugs Bunny. You don't really need the rest, and you're advertising HBO Max, so have some of the characters from the programs you're trying to get people interested in.
I think somebody on the team wanted to do that, but somebody told them no.
You're saying that instead. LeBron James should be balling with Bugs Bunny, Jon Snow.
And Courage the Cowardly Dog. Better movie.
Yeah. Jon Snow hits a big dunk and breaks the glass on the rim.
Jon Snow has to cut a guy's head off because he betrayed the team. They get Hugo Weaving to reprise his role as Agent Smith.
Algae Rhythm literally kills Jon Snow, and then Jon Snow gets revived.
Better movie.
Yeah,
better film.
Instead, what we get is that he's sent to Toon World, where LeBron turns into a Toon. And we get some Looney Tunes shenanigans. Honestly, this is probably the part of the movie that is the least interminable. When it's just him and Bugs Bunny, I mean.
But this is still kind of cringe. When it's just him and Bugs, yeah. But then they
that's what spaceship. I mean. When it's just him, until the spaceship arrives, when it's just him and Bugs, this is the least interminable part of the movie. So what's that, a grand total of 5 minutes, maybe?
Yeah.
We get a short period of time where they're just doing cartoon antics, which is
fun. Yeah. Go off, Kings.
And Bugs is a little crazier than normal. He's just a little out there because his friends are gone.
And not because they were taken away, but because they willingly left and he stayed.
Yeah.
Which
is something they should probably explore a bit more, but they do not.
And are his friends the only people in the entire Toon world?
Yeah.
As well?
Well, yeah, it was the entire cast of Looney Tunes as far as that. Well, I mean, the big players. Including everyone's favorite, the red hairy guy.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the big fat red guy from Count Chicken.
Oh, no. As great as it would be, I'm sure it would be great if he was back there, like if he was watching
his name is
game.
Gossamer, Swanson. His name is Gossamer. You need to get it correct.
Yeah, everyone loves Gossamer, of course. He's there. And everyone does love the Tasmanian Devil, but he's a later addition to the Looney Tunes. Not many people remember that. He's late era Looney Tunes. He doesn't show up until like the 1960s.
What a crazy guy.
That Taz, what will he do next?
He's always tearing things up, shredding it out.
Yeah.
Doing his thing.
You know what was really prominent in the 90s that seems to have fallen by the wayside? Mud flaps with Taz on them. I don't know what it was, but I feel like that was the very mud flaps with Taz on them. Anything in your car, you could just put Taz on it.
That's how you know somebody's hardcore if they do that.
Yeah.
Like, they're not messing
If they
around.
got mud flaps, they got Taz on them, and then they got Calvin pissing.
Yeah. But now we got Shadow the
Hedgehog.
We got Shadow the Hedgehog doing both those things.
It's true. Yeah. With a gun. Now we've got Shadow the Hedgehog, and he's pointing a gun. He says, "Fuck, let's go, Brandon."
He says, "Piss your pants."
Yeah, I'm gonna get a Ford F-150 in black and red, and it'll have like a window decal of Shadow the Hedgehog saying "Let's go, Brandon" on the back.
I guarantee you, there's someone out there has made Shadow the Hedgehog say "Let's go, Brandon."
I hope not, Swanson. I hope you're
Why not?
wrong.
It's out there.
Why do you hope that, Keo? You got a problem with
It would make
Brandon?
Yeah, I don't like Brandon. He's not really a good race car driver.
What if I told you about Dark Brandon?
He's powerful, and I respect him more than I fear him, but I do fear him a lot as well.
Yeah. But yeah, Bugs Bunny and LeBron James are hanging out. They're doing stuff. Don Cheadle, meanwhile, is brainwashing LeBron's son. There's a bit where Don Cheadle is dressed like Steve Jobs. That happens in this, which not technically IP, but sort of.
Did you know that Steve Jobs died of ligma?
Oh,
I'm so sorry for
Lick my
his
balls!
family's loss.
Oh, huh. Interesting. Yeah, Steve Jobs could ligma if he wanted. If he was still
There
able.
was some kind of joke. So there was some kind of joke with the Steve Jobs thing. He was asking like who created this world, and he put on the Steve Jobs outfit to say that he created that world, and there's no Steve Jobs involvement.
Yeah, which is sure, why not? Who's that for?
I would have found it a lot more compelling if Steve Jobs actually had created the serververse.
Yeah, if Don Cheadle was Steve Jobs.
Yeah, he said I've been Steven Jobs the entire time.
But he stays John Cheadle. He doesn't turn into someone who looks like Steven Jobs.
No, not at all.
But yeah, so what comes next is they get the Bugs Bunny and LeBron James steal Marvin the Martian's ship. And what we get is, I'm being generous when I say this happens in 2 minutes. It happens, I think, in maybe a minute. Where they get the band back together by jumping to different IP, and it's at such a rate that it almost killed me to watch this scene.
I was watching this, by the way, since I was late to watch the movie, I watched most of it on 1.5 speed.
God, Jesus Christ, Keo. Okay, so let me go through who shows up, and then I'm going to pause at a crucial moment to see your reaction. So, of course, we get introduced to this transition by them being in Mad Max world.
No.
LeBron James has a mohawk, which almost makes the entire movie worth it.
I thought the first world was DC Animated Universe world.
Yes, that is the first one.
Because that's where Daffy and Piggy are.
Yeah. But I'm talking about the sequence immediately. Piggy, yes. Miss Piggy. Porky Pig.
Porky Pig.
That sequence is longer because it ends with the whole Justice League being there, and then Daffy's like, "Yeah,
missed opportunity for Superman to be like, you should leave now," or something like, "You gotta go."
And Daffy's like, "Yeah, basketball sounds great. Let's do
also,
this."
Batman does not show up when the Justice League assembles.
Well, no, because Bugs Bunny has taken his place.
Why is... Yeah, but Daffy Duck is dressed like Superman, but the real Superman's there.
Well, he's Super Duck, clearly different.
But he's got the same color.
Anyway,
I don't know the premise behind like why Daffy is there at all. That's kind of what I would...
Well, because they're all scattered to different places for some reason.
But why? Why did he go there to do this? Like, what is?
He thought, I guess, it would be the best place to be.
How long has he been doing this?
Yeah, that's also a good question.
Apparently, years.
He hasn't discovered that he's bad at it yet, and he's not.
He's
Superman?
Daffy Duck. He doesn't. He's Daffy the Duck.
He's Daffy
Keo.
the Duck.
Daffy the Duck, Keo. He doesn't understand. He doesn't have a conscience. Like, he doesn't have self-conscience. Like, he doesn't think.
But Porky would be able. Porky would be able to explain this to him, and
yeah, but
would
Porky's
Daffy
a cuck.
listen?
Oh, okay, true.
Confirmed. Porky's
Pepe Le Pew is not in this movie.
True. They cut him out.
Fucked up.
Problematic.
He's problematic.
Speedy Gonzalez
Unlike
okay
Speedy.
because Speedy Gonzalez in this one is voiced by Mexican comedian Gabriel Iglesias.
Also because Mexico loves Speedy Gonzalez.
It's true.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely problematic, but no one cares.
Can you really say he's problematic when he's cool? And everyone wants
It's true.
to
He
be
does
him?
literally save Tweety Bird from being murdered in this movie.
I mean, he's cool, but he is definitely a walking stereotype.
Yeah.
It's
True.
just like...
But Keo, he's voiced by a Mexican man in this one, so it's okay.
I mean, look, I don't care personally. I think it's mostly harmless, but if you're going to be cutting characters who are problematic, I guess Pepe Le Pew is more problematic because he's like a sexual predator.
Yes, true. But Pepe Le Pew's love, quote unquote, is not in this either.
Well, that'd be weird.
If she was here and not Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's problematic too.
I guess true, yeah.
Problem.
Why, because she's asking for it, Keo? Is that what you're saying?
I'm just saying, if she wasn't around, Pepe Le Pew wouldn't be having all these issues.
If she wasn't wearing what she was wearing.
You gotta wonder how she keeps coincidentally getting that pain on her backside.
True, yeah. People have to start
like
asking
one time,
questions.
that's an
here.
accident.
I'm not saying Pepe Le Pew's innocent. I'm just saying.
Look, I'm just saying, you know, I've been there. I've been, you know, hounding after some woman with who got accidentally marked as a human who wasn't.
Who turned out to be a rabid animal.
Yeah.
Long story short, we now have to put Keo down.
Yeah. Okay, so what I was getting at is at the end of this scene with Daffy and Porky Pig is when we get this minute-long sequence where we just jump through different IP. And so I'm going to just go through these ones, Keo. And now keep in mind for the viewers at home, Keo was watching this at 1.5 speed. So it already happens so quick if you're watching it at normal speed. Where we jump to Mad Max world, where LeBron James has a mohawk. It's kind of cool. And they're chasing after the Roadrunner and the Coyote, who are in Mad Max world. Coyote is dressed in Mad Max face paint.
Also, there's a cartoon Mel Gibson for some reason.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. They jump to Casablanca, where Yosemite Sam is there for some reason. And then, Keo, this is the part where I want to see at 1.5 speed how it felt, because Austin Powers jumps into frame. Jumps. It's a jump scare.
He flashes onto the screen for a second.
It's like Leatherface has come up on the screen.
Yay,
like,
Austin Powers is here, my friend.
He prowls onto the scene and says, "Yeah, baby," and I almost died.
Which is
I don't remember why he was.
There's
there.
no
at
reason
all.
for him to be there because the scene is about Dr. Evil, and Austin Powers canonically is not present at this scene.
It's true, yeah. We're getting introduced to Mini-Me, who is not Vern Troyer, rest in peace. He is Elmer Fudd, who doesn't show up does he show up any other time in the movie?
No, I don't think so.
I don't remember him doing anything else. He's literally here for this gag.
All the characters are equally interchangeable, but I don't think
that's why
he's around.
You should have just had Bugs, and then you could have, like, Batman on the team.
Yeah. I mean, have Daffy Duck in there at some point, but yeah.
Stare, they said no, Stare, so you need to drop it.
Batman said no?
And you would have to include you would have to include Lola Bunny because she is voiced by Zendaya in this movie.
The them Batman said no.
I remember you could have the Joker on the team. And he teamed up with Bugs Bunny, and then that's a budding bromance between the two forums.
Yeah, I could see that. But yeah, Keo, so you were fine with this, watching at 1.5 speed, where Austin Powers literally jump scares into the frame.
I mean, the whole sequence was a jump scare. They were just jumping from place to place.
Yeah.
With just wild abandon, just getting it on screen for a couple seconds, just people say, "Oh, I recognize that. I've seen that movie."
Hey, I know that. It's literally the meme of Leonardo DiCaprio pointing at the TV from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's just that's this entire movie, really. Is I know that guy. Hey, I know that. It's 2 hours of look at all the stuff we own. And then
am I supposed to be impressed that they own this, or should I feel more like upset than impressed that one company owns all these IPs?
Yeah, I'm more. It's not even that I'm upset that they own all of this stuff, which I am. It's that I'm upset that they own it and care so little that they just threw it all in here.
They didn't even try. There's no passion here.
There's literally the guys from A Clockwork Orange are sitting in the background watching the basketball game.
And 90% of the people watching this won't even notice.
No.
You know what the funniest thing in this entire movie was for me, though? Like, hands down, that actually made me laugh? Was when the Ice King from Game of Thrones was just a prop in the
He's
background.
just hanging out in the background, yeah.
Which I thought was really funny because he was basically a prop in Game of Thrones, too, so...
True.
He was really in character there.
They should have had Jon Snow just come in, or not Jon Snow, Arya Stark just come in and kill him. And then, like, take his place and stand there.
That would have been funny, but they didn't want to use these characters. They just wanted... They were props, like I said.
They were props, for sure, yeah. Also, we get introduced, we see some gremlins at another point in time, I think, too. Some gremlins are here.
Yeah, but they're not puppets. Rest
No.
in peace, Joe Dante.
Gremlins are there. There's Agent Smith is around at some points, but obviously not Hugo Weaving. Yeah, it's just a lot of shit. Like the Iron Giant and King Kong show up.
There's Matrix.
Anything
Matrix
you want
happened.
Yeah.
The Gundam does not show up on like Ready Player One.
No Gundam in this one because the WB doesn't own it
yet.
It's all about the IP that they own. But yeah, it's amazing because somehow even with all of this IP jack-offery that's going on here, we're still wasting time with stuff where like LeBron's family is searching for them.
Oh God!
I don't need that shit.
Space Jam 1 also had that, but it was Wayne Knight, so it was funny.
Yes. Yeah, it was. Like,
Yeah, I don't care about LeBron James. That's my full thought.
correct. Yeah.
Like, I don't care about LeBron James, his family, his parenting. I don't have an emotional attachment to the story.
We're literally padding out
dad.
this movie with this search, this quest for LeBron. And also, we get a 5-minute plus sequence of Lola Bunny in Wonder Woman world.
Which is a separate world from DC animated universe. But it's also a cartoon world.
And she's doing like the Amazon run.
They're using the Wonder Woman theme from the Snyderverse.
Yeah.
Do you think there was arguments from like the executives on whether or not they wanted to acknowledge Zack Snyder in such a way?
Well, the Snyder Cut had already been released when this came out.
I know, but they're still mad about it.
It's true.
They had that media blitz against him like a couple months ago.
I'm sure they did try. I'm sure there were like, could we put something else in here? And they were like, no. Someone higher up was like, no.
They have this like full story arc with Lola Bunny happening here. It is a full story arc where she has a trial she's trying to overcome.
Yeah. And she sacrifices to save Bugs Bunny and LeBron James.
It would have been funny. It would have been funny if like LeBron fell into lava and then his butt caught on fire and he bounced around like Mario, going, "Oh!"
Yeah, that'd be good.
No, we can't have that much fun in this movie.
We can't have that much fun in this movie, and also we know LeBron James couldn't hit that. We know that he couldn't hit. It would be him being like, "Ow, ow, 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 ow."
Oh, my butt.
Oh, my butt. My butt's burning. And we'd be like, what?
Yeah, so they introduced Lola Bunny here, and that's basically what she gets to do for the rest of the movie. That's her peak.
Yep. She plays basketball real good. That's what we learned.
She does, but it doesn't accomplish anything because that's not how this movie works.
No.
Yeah, unlike Space Jam 1 where they're playing basketball.
It's true, they're playing just actual basketball in that game with some like crazy cartoon stuff and every now and again.
You know, it's an actual mechanic in this movie that it's a game, so...
Also, Space Jam 1 does have the legitimately funny sequence where they'd use Mike's special stuff.
Yeah.
Which they interpret to be steroids. Which is legitimately funny.
Yeah,
and they don't have any equivalent to that in this. But yeah, so the movie goes on for like another 20 minutes before we get to the actual basketball game. By the way, I checked when the basketball game starts. There's an hour left in the movie.
Yeah, I was paying close attention to the running time throughout the movie.
But once they got to the game, I was like, oh wow, they're wrapping it up now. I'm ready to see the end of the...
this fucking basketball game is like Lord of the Rings. It's 3 points where it could have ended.
This is like the final battle in Char's counterattack.
Yeah,
it's like...
true. So, basically, Don Cheadle has gotten LeBron's son to create his own video game and use it as like the place where they're going to play basketball. And also, LeBron's son is playing against them in this game.
Hey guys, I've got a CinemaSins. I got a CinemaSins plot hole here. So Don Cheadle, what voice am I doing?
He's a CinemaSins guy, yeah? That's what he sounds like?
So if 1 times 1 equals 1, then...
Okay, but seriously though, like Don Cheadle says that every camera, everything he's watching this boy, and then he talks about how he has a scanner which he uses for his game to scan people, and he doesn't know. He doesn't already know that.
Not only does he not already know that, but also we get a sequence of that where it's just here's a cameo from a bunch of NBA players
that they're going to make into freaks.
So they're going to turn into horrible CGI freaks. And don't worry, they asked to be like this.
That's the other thing.
For the movie.
They kind of just gave up with the whole animation thing at this point.
Yeah, like the budget, apparently ran out for having... I'll give this movie one thing, and it's that the animation is actually good.
The 2D animation, yeah.
The 2D animation's actually good. I mean, the 3D animation's good too, but it's ugly because now it's these ugly 3D models that suck.
Yeah.
Oh, they're
Well, you can
grotesque
tell
characters.
that Algae Rhythm is the bad guy because he turns the Looney Tunes into 3D animation.
And they are upset. They notice this and they are upset by it.
Yeah. Which is a funny thing to think about, which is that the villain is using 3D animation. And the natural order of things is 2D animation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's also fitting that I can't stress enough that it's a massive downgrade. Was it supposed to be like an upgrade or what?
Well, it's an upgrade
understand,
for in Don Cheadle's mind.
Also, isn't Lola the first one this happens to?
Yes.
And it's like,
Yes.
yeah, so this is gonna like warp some kids' psychology and give them some weird fetishes.
True. Yes.
Will it that they? I don't
At
know.
least one.
They really made sure not to sexualize this character in this movie, though.
Yeah.
Unlike
so
the
much so
original.
that she doesn't do anything after this part.
Yeah, she does nothing. She's there. She plays a little bit of basketball.
Well,
but that's
she
it.
does hold someone's dying body in her arms.
Oh, that's doing something, right?
But yeah, so here's the thing that I thought was interesting, which is Algae Rhythm creates this streaming event that teleports people into the audience
Yep.
who watched it. So the
Yep.
real world is collapsing too then, right?
Yes.
Because we're seeing people, important people. We're seeing like EMTs and firefighters
Sort of like Char's counterattack.
who are watching this and being teleported away.
Don't care.
Presumably in times of need.
Don't care. What I'm worried about is whether or not this father and son will reconcile their differences.
That's what movies are about, Swanson.
It's true, yeah. And yeah, we get ready for the basketball game. Still no slam jam.
What I really like is when the conflict between father and son could have been solved by just slightly better dialogue.
Or the mom, like, drawing a line in the sand.
No, I mean, no, seriously, like, there's a chance for the father and son to talk. LeBron talks to his son, and he's like, this guy's a bad dude, and blah, blah, blah. But he doesn't explain, like, what the stakes are to the son, so he can kind of think about it, maybe. Like,
No, they
like,
just play.
He just said that everyone's going to be stuck here, and he's going to erase all the tunes if he wins. So if you help him win, then we're screwed. He doesn't say that. He just, like, says this vague stuff, and the son's like, oh, yeah, come on.
Yeah, he
Like,
sees his son,
Dad.
and his son is ready to ball against his dad, and he's like, huh? And that's it. That's really it. And then we get the truly horrific CGI of these basketball players who are going up against LeBron. One's like a snake lady, or like a bird lady. No,
There's a
she's
snake lady.
I guess.
There's
Yeah,
a
snake
snake
lady. There's a
lady.
bird
There's
guy.
a bird and a snake.
There's a
There's a
bird,
bird
and a snake,
man.
and a spider.
A spider.
There's a
and of
spider
course,
lady.
And a
later
clock
we
man.
Later, we get Clockman, who has Dio-like powers to stop time, but is easily thwarted by the granny, of course. Well, not easily, because it does take a little bit, but he gets thwarted by her later. Because I'm making it seem like this basketball sequence is short. It's not. It's an hour long.
And there is
And,
a hip hop.
I just have
There
to.
is a rap battle.
I'm sitting down here. I have to kind of talk about an important topic here.
Uh-huh.
They didn't make these 3D women characters hot,
True.
which really upset me.
So you wanted the granny to also be hot, is what you're saying.
I wanted the basketball NBA players to be hot. I wanted the granny to be hot.
They should have
I wanted
gotten
Lola Bunny
They
to
should
be
have gotten
hot.
Harley Quinn on the team.
Yeah, true.
I wanted, yeah. She needed to undress as well.
True.
But yeah, so this is the part where all of the IP come to watch the basketball game. And you get
It's
to
like-
just sort of play a fun little game of spot the IP.
Except they're doing looped animation.
Yeah. Also, we forgot to mention that one of the worlds they visit in that IP run that was so baffling. The Austin Powers one was baffling, but also they go to the Matrix, and Speedy Gonzalez and Granny do some Matrix
Yeah.
shit.
Which is like, it would be like the scene is when Trinity beats up those cops. So you should have
Yeah.
Granny beating up the cops, but also Speedy Gonzalez is there. So you're just muddying the waters.
True. Also, they're doing Matrix jokes that were from 1999.
Also, so Matrix World has a computer simulation inside the computer simulation? The WB?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
It's computer simulations all the way down, Star. I mean, at this point, Algae Rhythms should have like taken off a mask and revealed that he was Agent Smith.
I don't think LeBron James could defeat Agent Smith.
No, I don't think Bugs Bunny could either.
Like 100 of them, Agent Smiths just walk onto the court.
All like dribbling. We came to ball, Mr. Anderson.
Now, see, that'd be great if you went with my crossover idea, where they have teams. You have different IPs on the teams.
So,
Agent Smith's on the bad guy team, so Keanu Reeves reprises his role as Neo. And he
but he doesn't show up until like near the end of the movie because like he's not on the original team. LeBron is like recruited a group, and then Agent Smith comes out as like Algae Rhythms, like ace in the hole, and then LeBron's like, "Oh man, we're done for," and Neo's like, "I don't think so." And you start playing the Matrix theme, or you play like "Come with it now," doom doom.
I don't think it's good.
What was up with these original characters? Do not steal. They had on the opposing team.
They're all basketball players that have been retrofitted into horrible monstrosities.
Yeah,
I think they're all friends of LeBron James too.
I guess that's why.
Yeah, that's probably why they're in here.
Why didn't they make them hot?
Or like they could be like computer ghosts of famous basketball players from the past, like Charles Barkley or Wilt Chamberlain.
Would you guys really have enjoyed this movie more if they had like more IPs and interacting with each other, playing the sports game?
Maybe.
I guess it would have been mildly better.
I don't think I would have enjoyed it if the game wasn't 1 hour long.
Also, Wikipedia tells me that there was a guy there who was both water and fire, and they called him Wet Fire.
Yes, they did.
Which, that's objectively a bad name.
No, it's brilliant, actually. It's very clever.
It's quite clever,
and that's
Swanson.
why they have a character in the film say how clever it is.
that is true. That's how you know something is clever, is when you have to mention that it is, in fact, clever. I never thought about it that way.
I need things to be explained to me a lot in movies. Otherwise, two things happen when things are not explained to me. First, I get upset, and then I get confused.
Then I get angry.
And then lastly, you get angry.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't like Keo when he's angry.
But it's important that you know that I get upset first and then confused.
True. So yeah, we get some basketball back and forth. The LeBron's team. LeBron's team is getting dunked on consistently and thoroughly. His son is able to like bounce around and like be like real good at basketball.
They use Mario
because LeBron has
effects.
he has like brain problems. He doesn't seem to understand that this is not regular basketball.
Yeah, he needs like an entire he needs 2 quarters of being like punked by these cheaters to realize that they're not playing regular basketball. And so like they keep trying and like they score a couple points, but they just keep getting beaten. And the game, it's like a ridiculous score of like 1,030 something to like 2. And and they're like, "Oh, can LeBron come back from this?" And he's sitting there at halftime, and everyone's like, "Well, let's just give up." And LeBron's like, "Actually, no, we're not going to give up. We're going to play, and we're going to win."
I just realized I've been extremely stupid this entire time, and we should play the game we came to play.
Right, because originally, when LeBron is training with the Looney Tunes are playing like Looney Tunes style. And he's
they don't train. They don't train at all. There's no like sequence where they're practicing. They start barely, and he's like, "We need to go down to fundamentals. Let me start telling you." And then it's like, "Oh, actually, time for the game."
Yeah. And allegedly, he has taught them these fundamentals at some point, I guess. But then he's like, "We got to start playing like tunes." And now that they're playing Looney Tunes, they're winning.
What I really don't know, I guess the place where we lost all the time in this movie was wasting time with its family.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, like, how the original Space Jam managed to complete their story in, like, a fraction of the time, and it was more complete. I don't even like the original Space Jam movie, but it was...
Well, here's the other thing, is that the Space Jam movie doesn't spend time with Michael Jordan having, like, a relationship with, like, a son or something. It's just it's just cut and dry. These aliens want to take over the Earth.
They want to take over the Looney Tunes.
Michael Jordan's got to stop them with the help of Looney Tunes. And so he does.
You know, when I think about it, the Warner Brothers serververse is basically what the bad guys in Space Jam 1 wanted to make. A giant amusement park microcosm.
It's true. Also, they do show up in this.
Yeah.
We get two shots of them being both elated that the Toon Squad is losing and then dismayed that they are winning. That's it.
Which, yeah, I wanted that.
Yeah, that was doing something for somebody. So anyway, yeah, they come back in the second half and they start playing Looney Tunes strategy and they start getting up there and winning game and whatnot.
There was some fun bits there, but it was there's a lot of distractions happening for some reason.
Yeah. Well, I forgot to mention when the clock man shows up and does his whole clock move and does all of that and like scores a huge point or whatever, we get a literal from Daffy Duck. Well, that happened.
Yeah, I
don't do that. Movies.
They don't care.
No.
The writers didn't. The writers don't care. This is like, I feel like this movie was really cynical or something. I don't know.
It made me cynical.
I don't know. It's hard to judge the mindset of the people writing the movie, but I feel like somebody there was just like
one of the six who wrote it. Not all six, but at least two of them.
Yeah, just hated this movie. Did not want to be a part of it, but did it anyway.
Yeah. Oh, we also forgot to mention that Rick and Morty show up, which is what we were talking about earlier in the episode.
Well,
they give the Looney Tunes Taz.
Yeah. And they allude to him being some kind of cosmic horror or something. I don't know.
Yeah, sure, whatever. Also, in my notes, this was about the Michael Jordan scene that we already covered, but Sylvester the cat is the one who thinks he got Michael Jordan, but he got Michael B. Jordan. So I guess what this movie is confirming is that Sylvester the cat is, in fact, a racist.
Yes.
Because Michael Jordan and Michael B. Jordan do not look anything alike.
Yeah. And, wow. I can't believe they did that.
Yeah.
They knew what they were doing, and they were wrong in making that joke.
They were wrong. Yeah, they were wrong in insinuating that this cat who's always trying to eat and murder a bird is in some way blind to. I mean, they were wrong in teasing that they had Michael Jordan there, because that would have been kind of fun. That would have been something.
I would think if Michael Jordan would show up and LeBron James would be like, "I'm so glad you're here to help," and Michael Jordan would be like, "What? No, I'm old, man.
I can't. I'm just giving you some advice.
My knees will explode."
He definitely could have given them the advice to say, "Quit being stupid and play tune."
It's true, because that's what he did. That's how he won.
They should have gotten Shaq.
Yeah, true. Better movie. Listen, kid, you gotta start playing like you're a genie.
Okay, how would you guys have felt if they brought in CGI Kobe Bryant?
Oh no!
I probably would have turned off the movie. I think I would have just turned it off. I would have. My immediate reaction would have been, "Wait, what?" And then I would have had to look up how I missed people shitting their pants at the fact that they did that when the movie came out. And then I would turn it off, probably.
I would have seen it through just to see who else they brought back from the dead.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but
Well, what they should have brought in CGI.
Well,
James Gandolfini.
they do have CGI Adam West as Batman in the background. Rest in peace.
that's true. They should have had CGI Tony Soprano in there.
Yeah.
Why not?
CGI Olivia having a conversation with.
They could put CGI Omar in there. He's watching the game.
They could have had.
Or
all these
you.
characters should have been present.
Or like she's watching the game and she's just like, those blacks.
And of course, during this second half, we get a rap battle because this is a cartoon movie for kids, so you got to add some rap in there.
Don Cheadle has an F-bomb, I think.
They self-censor him getting an F-bomb. Yeah,
He gets very upset.
but yeah, there's a rap battle where Porky Pig raps. He's referred to as the notorious P.I.G. I'll be honest with you guys. I was watching this movie. My cat was sitting on the couch with me watching this movie. I think she was asleep, thankfully. But at the moment when the rap started, I let out an audible sigh, and my cat looked up at me and jumped off the couch and left the room. And I don't want to say that it was because of this, but I feel like the pattern is there.
So after Don Cheadle has a meltdown and disillusions the son, who he turncoats, he switches sides to team up with his dad.
Yeah, which should be the end of the movie. It should be the end of this basketball game.
No,
Because that's the story. That's the end of the fucking story. Is that they reunited, they bonded, now defeat the bad guy.
no. Because Don Cheadle digivolves and
Into metal Don Cheadlemon. Into war Don Cheadlemon.
Yeah, he turns into metal Don Cheadle.
and he's got the cheat codes.
He's big,
but
he's big Cheetle.
Yeah, so he's got the cheat codes, and LeBron James has to use his trick moves to glitch the game out again.
Yeah.
Bugs Bunny dies.
So they have to do this thing where they do the jump code or whatever, and Bugs Bunny jumps in. LeBron James is willing to sacrifice himself for this moment, and his son's like, "No, Dad, you could be deleted," whatever the fuck that means to like a human.
And he explains that, no, I'm not a video game character, I'll be fine.
Which logic enough for me, really.
Yeah, why not? Who cares?
Like that you could have just ended it there. You didn't have to add more. You didn't have to have Bugs Bunny heroically sacrifice himself.
Yeah.
This isn't fucking Wrath of Khan. I don't need Bugs Bunny doing a sacrifice moment.
I need an emotional thing at the end of the movie, Swanson, because the father-son bonding thing did not do it for me. I need blood.
Yeah, true. So, and Bugs can't be like, he can't have the hero moment altogether because LeBron does need to be the one who defeats Algae Rhythm.
Even though LeBron James is the villain of this movie.
Yeah, true. He's caused all of this.
Yeah, he's causing all these problems. He's really mistreating his son.
Bugs Bunny does turn into Big Chungus, by the way.
Again.
Yes. He at some point here he becomes Big Chungus. I just wanted to bring. I just felt like it needed to be said for the record.
Yeah, he becomes Big Chungy.
And he does his move. He gives the ball to LeBron, and LeBron is like not gonna make it. So his son takes one of these like power up moves, I guess, and throws it to his dad, and his dad gets like a big power up and dunks real hard.
Remember how in
he dunks so hard that big Don Cheadle turns into a poster and dies?
Yeah. Remember how
Guess he
in
just
Space Jam 1 the climax
dies.
is Michael Jordan embracing tune physics to score an impossible dunk?
When his arm gets impossibly large,
Yeah.
like impossibly long, and just
That makes me
dunks.
nauseous.
As
Don't
he's
talk
like-
about that.
As he screams, he's like screaming. He's like, ah! Yeah, much better than whatever this is. LeBron dunks, and they're like, wow, we did it. We won the game. Congrats, everybody. Good times. But the movie is still not over.
Yeah, the movie has more ground to cover
Because
here.
Bugs Bunny is dying, you see. And we need to focus on the fact that Bugs Bunny has heroically sacrificed himself for his family, which are the Looney Tunes. And he's dead now. He's dead. Everybody, there's a big scene where Lola Bunny's like consoling Bugs Bunny, and all the Looney Tunes are around him as he passes away. It's like Optimus Prime dying in the Transformers movie, but only Bugs Bunny does in fact come back.
I mean, so did Optimus Prime.
Yeah, but in the original cartoons, did he?
Yeah, that's the final episode of the original cartoon.
Oh,
Was they had
good
to
on
bring
him.
him back to like deal with space aids.
If only Ronald Reagan had thought of that. Or cared.
Or Dr. Fauci.
True.
No, don't get me started about Dr. Fausty,
Dr.
devil
Faust.
dealer.
Dr. Faust. Yeah, so the Bugs dies, and back in the human world, LeBron's like, hey, you can go to the game camp now because I respect you. I think of you as an actual person and not an extension of me.
I only had to go on some adventure to learn this lesson, which should have been very obvious, and even my wife explained this to me already at the beginning of the movie.
It's a lesson
and
I probably
ignored
should have
her.
learned before you were 12 years old.
Probably with my first son. Barely has anything to do with this movie.
My first son, who is actually doing all the things I want him to do. So I never had to have this conversation. Anyway, go make video games or whatever the fuck you do. And Bugs Bunny shows up and he's like, I never died, Doc. He's like, oh,
Oh,
that's
so we
cool.
wasted our time with that emotional scene?
Yeah, you wasted my time with that. Could have ended 10 minutes ago. And him and LeBron go have like a little back and forth, and the movie ends. The end. It's fucking over.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what I was expecting from this movie, but
Space Jam to play at some point.
yeah, I wasn't expecting the song to play. Actually, I didn't think about it. Right, it's not something that was in my headspace as I went into this. But after it was over, I thought about the movie, and I said to myself, welcome to the slam or whatever they say, and I think like, oh, they didn't play the song.
They did not slam, no. Or
They didn't
jam.
mention the song.
They don't. No, they didn't mention it at all. Nothing. They don't. No one even makes reference to slamming or jamming.
All right, and furthermore, why is this movie called Space Jam?
Cyberspace. I'm going to
No,
keep saying
no.
that's why they made it. They
That's
named
what
it
I
that.
said, Keo, and you shot me down.
Yeah, well, no, I'm asking again because I did not get a satisfactory answer to my question.
That's why.
When you say Space Jam, like you think about space and aliens and like planet Saturn.
There's planets in this, Keo. This Matrix planet.
Yeah.
Those are planets now.
Yes, they're little orbs that you land on.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I guess-
Okay. The Wikipedia has some insightful sort of thoughts here about the long trajectory of Space Jam 2.
Okay.
Originally, there was going to be a direct sequel to Space Jam. That would be Michael Jordan again and the Looney Tunes fighting a villain called Berserko, who would be voiced by Mel Brooks.
That's fun.
That could be fun. Who knows? Yeah. But Jordan did not want to do a sequel, so they canceled it. Potential sequel ideas came later. One was called Spy Jam, that would star Jackie Chan. Or Race Jam, which would star NASCAR's Jeff Gordon.
I don't think you should call it Race Jam, fellas.
There was also the potential for one starring Tiger Woods.
Golf Jam?
Oh, that would have been great.
Or Skate Jam featuring Tony Hawk. Oh, of course,
Why did they put in the...
Yeah.
Why is it the name of the sport when Space Jam was just Space Jam? It was not...
Great question.
I mean, I guess the jam part is the basketball thing, I guess.
So wait, this movie was announced in 2014.
That's right.
They were really working on this for a long time.
Also, professional player Kobe Bryant expressed interest in directing the film.
Wait, who did?
Kobe Bryant wanted to direct the film.
Oh, and they killed him just to try to do that.
Yeah, just to make sure that didn't happen.
He would have been the next Michael Mann.
I can't believe they did that.
Yeah. Anyway, what are our final thoughts on this movie?
Oh my. It somehow was both better and worse than I expected it to be, somehow. Where, I just thought it was going to be like just a bleak nothingness the entire way through, but there was a few moments here where I was like, oh, that's cool. But at the same time, it's very frustrating that this movie outwardly just did not try to do anything other than exhibit that they own some characters.
Yeah. It wants you to know that they own a lot of characters. And that you can see all the characters that they own.
Like, the fact that the characters were there was not relevant to the story.
What story?
At all.
Fuck you.
I mean, the story was just that LeBron James is a bad parent and he doesn't support his son's extreme genius talent.
The story is like the most cliched boilerplate story that you could possibly do, but then they decide that instead of making it just a short 90 minutes, we're done. We got to add another 30 minutes on of just adding in as many people as possible, wasting time with LeBron's wife and kids.
Yeah, we had 20 minutes of just like this man out there in the world doing his basketball thing, and
yeah, get us to the jam. It took 20 minutes to get to the Jam Factory in this.
Also, I want to point out that we've recorded more audio runtime than Space Jam 2.
And hopefully better. But I'm going to say tune out on this one. It's not even as good. It's not even the low bar of trying to clear Space Jam 1 is not even cleared in this.
Yeah, a movie that makes me feel nauseous to think about is better than this. So yeah, this is a tune out on whatever this movie was supposed to be.
Yeah, it sucked. It's bad. And that will about do it for this week's episode of the show.
Wait, Stairs going to tune in, right?
Yeah, I'm going to tune in. Just because I respect, because Kira's my friend, and I want to do something they don't want me to do.
Still a tune out.
Yeah.
On Space Jam: A New Legacy. Let the history books forever know that Stairmaster, who gave this a 5-star review on Letterboxd, is tuning in.
Oh, Stairmaster should read his Letterboxd review verbatim for us right now.
I feel like it won't be genuine after, but okay.
In the moment, it's definitely.
Also, it's weird to make someone read their own Letterboxd review, but okay.
I'm not a normal person. They say I'm unique.
Atypical, one might say. Splitting off from the stream of neurology. What?
Yeah.
So, review by Stairmaster, Space Jam: A New Legacy, 1.5 stars. Why is Don Cheadle in this? I couldn't think of Kevin Conroy or Tim Daly. Why couldn't we get no Cartoon Network cameos? Why am I getting nauseous? I'm gonna...
Wait, it made you nauseous?
No, that's the best word I could come up with. I
Do
feel
you-
like
do you
there's
want me
weird
to-
existential dizziness looking at this film.
Yeah.
Well, that's the kind of feeling I got from the original Space Jam.
Well, Space Jam is like it's like viscerally disgusting. Well, Space Jam 2 is like
Psychically disgusting.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a new level.
Yeah.
Which means that if they make a third one, it will be emotionally disgusting.
Yeah, and I just want to say one thing that I hate the most when I see media, when I can see clearly that the thing I'm watching is a product or is an advertisement for a product. It just takes me instantly out of it.
And that's what this entire movie is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's things that I've enjoyed in the past that were advertisements for products.
It's like Mobile
But
Suit
I
Gundam,
couldn't-
Charge Counterattack.
Yeah, but I can't tell that by watching it, right?
Or
It's
most
not like-
cartoon shows that we grew up with.
Yeah, I can't tell by watching it. It's just when I can tell, it's just like, oh God, what is this?
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the ultimate cinema sin as far as I'm concerned. That's the sound they play.
But yeah, yeah, it's a tune out. And that'll about do it for this week's episode of the show. Listen, we're still chugging through these Buy Me a Coffees. But if you want to go over to buymeacoffee.com/TDtuners, a single coffee will give you a single episode for us to discuss anything that you desire. You can go over there and do that. Now that we've finally gone through Space Jam: A New Legacy, we're beginning a new quest, a new side podcast where we're going through Berserk. So we'll be
Which one?
the I think the original anime.
Is that what he told us to watch?
It's when he paid us
I
to
don't know.
watch.
I don't care. Whatever. Good night.
He'll correct me if it's wrong. Anyway, that'll until then, keep watching. Bye. It's over.
Hey folks, it's time for the TV Tuners Fact of the Week. Did you know that Fairmaster is actually in the audience during the hour-long sports game on Space Jam? A New Legacy? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
New Legacy?
I'm the Joker, baby.